Jurassic Park 3's mysteries has always fascinated me, and a few years ago I did a video on what tore apart the boat crew from Jurassic Park 3. And well, let me tell you now, that video and everything we thought we knew about that scene could be completely wrong. And it could change everything we thought we knew about Jurassic Park 3, because we've recently had new information come to light from the new movie, recent animations, and new documentation. You see, in the opening scene from Jurassic Park 3, the boat crew is mysteriously killed by something that lurks in the fog. The characters Ben and Eric are gliding above, they look down, only to see fog, and then horrifyingly the boat appears tattered and smeared with blood, and the crew members are nowhere to be seen. Neither the characters themselves or the audience know what happened, but if we watch closely and with a little bit of research, we will get to the bottom of this mystery. Now immediately your first thought goes to the pteranodons. They could fly in under the cover of the fog, swoop down, take them, and off they go. There's several problems with this, however. The movie tries to tell a story that the pteranodons are locked in the cage till the end of the movie. You know, where we see that gate open, implying they've been locked in there forever. That is completely wrong. You see, in the Lost World Jurassic Park at the end of the film, which takes place in 1997, we see a flock of pteranodons out in the open, not in the aviary. That island is Isla Sorna, the exact same island we see in Jurassic Park 3 in 2001. So yes, pteranodons are not just in the aviary, they are out in the open world. The movie wants us to believe they were trapped in the aviary, but that is not the case. They were already out of the aviary, attacking and killing things on the island. I mean, that's how we literally see the skulls in the pteranodon's nest in the aviary. They could even be the boat crew skulls. They could have easily approached the boat under the cover of the fog, swooped down, grabbed them, and took them back to the nest. But wait. Isn't there a problem with this? If they did just that, sure, they could not be spotted because of the fog, but they swooped down and picked them up, using the only weapon they have, their claws. Wouldn't at least one of the members of that boat crew scream? And wouldn't they have seen them after the fog clears like 15 seconds later, flying off into the distance? We actually find out what was supposed to attack the boat, and that was pteranodons. You see, Jurassic Park 3's script was actually being written as it was being filmed, so it was a bit of a mess. You see, Alan Grant and the crew were meant to find the boat and explore where they see 3 huge claw marks on the boat, and upon leaving the boat, they were set on by a group of pteranodons which then attack a helicopter. But the really interesting thing here is the 3 claw marks. Now you can say that pteranodons have 3, although we do see them have 4 in the aviary, which is odd, but the 3 mark lines up with Jurassic Park 3 and the pteranodon silhouette in the background. So the pteranodons were planned to be the big bad, but then they switch it out, obviously for the Spinosaurus. Something isn't adding up with the pteranodons, but I'm not going to rule them out just yet. We'll come back to them. You see, we all know it and we're all thinking it. One of the big bad contenders is obviously the Spinosaurus, right? And there are several points in the movie where it seems to just appear from nowhere. You know, that tree line bit where it's just standing there with the phone going off, but no one's seen it coming or approach. That's a mystery in itself. I've solved that, by the way, so check that video out after this. But it regularly shows up out of nowhere. Could it be the case here with the boat crew? Could it have swam after the boat, lunged up, jumped on, and grabbed one? That's a possibility. But 2 of them at the same time? Because let's not forget, there are 2 of them on the boat. Now, I've done some really deep digging into this, and I've even looked at the cancelled script of Jurassic Park 3. Now, we all know Jurassic Park 3's script was a complete mess. I mean, they were actually writing it and rewriting it as it was being filmed. So they potentially changed the pteranodons out. And this is where things get pretty interesting, because immediately you think, oh, they switch it out for the Spinosaurus, right? That seems to make sense. I mean, the only logical explanation is an ambush attack from the depths, because otherwise they'll see the pteranodons coming. And if you examine the opening sequence, you can kind of hear like Spinosaurus footsteps and a splash into the water. This is what I said in my original video, and everything starts to point towards the Spinosaurus being on like the rocks or the land, diving in, yada yada yada, but I've gone back and listened to this in more detail. It wasn't footsteps and a splash into the water, it's the actual boat hitting the waves. That is the noise we hear. It does sound like thumps, but it's actually the thump of the boat, and that is the splash. It's not Spinosaurus footsteps or Spinosaurus jumping into the water as such. We've got that completely wrong. And then if we further examine the scene, the part where they initially notice something's wrong. You know, when they look down at the boat and they see like the fog and they start jostling, that's the start of the attack. Something attacks the boat at that point. The scene lasts for roughly around 15 seconds of them, you know, being violently thrashed up and down, left and right. So that tells us it wasn't a quick snatch and grab. Something had actually landed on the boat and attacks both members of the crew. Now, we're definitely going to rule out the pteranodons because at no point do we actually see them swoop in or fly away when the fog clears. It's not them. The Spinosaurus, on the other hand, it could be. Rebirth shows us that the Spinosaurus can indeed keep up with fast vessels, because that was my initial thought. That speedboat is going at quite a pace. But Rebirth shows us these Spinosauruses can keep up with our boat and actually jump on and attack it, leading us to believe the same thing could happen here, right? Well, not entirely. That boat is rather small, and if the Spinosaurus climbed on that or attacked it, I believe there'd be way more damage than what we see in that initial 15 seconds. Let's not forget, that Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 is absolutely massive. It's the same size as the T-Rex. For it to actually grab and take both men off the boat, it would have to be latched onto either A, the side of the boat, or at least half-bodied on to get them both. And we see no such damage of that on the boat. Something did a snatch and grab. And why do we think it could just be one? Because we just see one Spinosaurus? Rebirth shows several Spinosaurus, so there's possibility it could be multiple of a animal. We only see one Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, so there is that. But let's think to recent additions to the franchise. Look at Camp Cretaceous Season 4 and 5. Hell, even Chaos Theory. We're seeing multiple animals out in the wild. Now, I know, Chaos Theory takes place in 2022 to 2024, during Dominion's period, right? But Camp Cretaceous Season 3, 4, and 5 doesn't. It takes place in 2015, and we see some type of plesiosaurus there. It's actually a Nothosaurus, believe it or not, which can swim exceedingly fast in the water. Now, this isn't some type of cut content like the original plesiosaurus from Jurassic Park, because remember, plesiosaurus was planned and supposed to be in Jurassic Park and was allegedly in Jurassic World. We see it multiple times referenced throughout the movie, and even was in the original script and storyboarding, leading us to believe there is a plesiosaur out there. But Camp Cretaceous is canon and shows us there is a Nothosaurus out there somewhere. Could it have been that? The snatch and grab of a Nothosaurus would make sense, and there could be multiple of them. The same with a plesiosaur. The plesiosaur could easily have kept up with a boat, long-necked out, grabbed one, and on the other side, another plesiosaur grabbed the other. But do we actually have any hard evidence of this at all? Well, unfortunately we don't. Because initially I thought something could have slammed into the side of the boat like the Spinosaurus, and the both crew members had fell off, leaving what was ever in the water to mop up. Eat them whole, if you will. You see, Rebirth gives us hints that there are other aquatic animals out in the wild, and the cloning of D-Rex and all the other animals was pre-2010. We know there was literally a megalodon out in the oceans due to seeing its skull on the wall in that bar. So with all the recent information which come to light from the new movie, the shows, etc., it leaves room for interpretation as to what dinosaur or aquatic animal could have attacked the boat. It now kind of fills in the blanks of the poor writing from Jurassic Park 3, you know, where they intended it to be pteranodons, but the environmental storytelling just doesn't match that, or the Spinosaurus in reality. Because the most confusing thing is, we don't actually hear any screams, or any signs of an audible struggle going on. And the question is, were we wrong in what attacked the boat crew? Well, it could be a mixture of both. The Spinosaurus initially attacks the boat, latching on, grabbing the one victim, where a potential other predator takes the other. A pteranodon swoops off. The only problem I have with the pteranodons attacking is that there's no audible screams, and there would have been. So pteranodon is out. Could it be that the Spinosaurus knocks off one crew member into the water, eats the one while it's still on the boat, dives back in and finishes the other one off? Or the Spinosaurus jumps on, attacks the one crew member whilst the other one falls off, and another aquatic animal, such as that other Mosasaurus we know which is prowling the oceans, a megalodon, finishes the other one down in the depths. Hence why that person never resurfaces or shouts or screams for help. Either way you look at it, we can agree that the crew members actually met a grisly end. No matter what animal attacked them. And if you want to continue with the Jurassic Park 3 mysteries, how did the Spinosaurus approach Alan Grant and the rest of them without even being noticed? I got that video on the channel. And there's plenty more mysteries on my channel. So make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this and subscribe for more Jurassic Park stuff. I release a video like this every single week. Massive thanks to the InGen team who are on screen now, DVM Wannabe 1018, and our CEOs Joseph Frost, Ghost and Zarkadian. Thanks for keeping the power on in the park, guys. And if you came across a Spinosaurus out in the open ocean, could your day get any worse? You bet Jurassic can. Catch you later.